Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. So, Blaze and Christina. I understood where Christina was coming from to an extent, right? Now, I'm straight, so I don't know what it's like to be gay, to not, have fear of coming out to people and stuff like that. I don't know what that's like, right? But when Blaze gets to her place, and Christina stands, like she already seems like kind of standoffish, and they get to talking, and Blaze is like, it seems like you've been avoiding me, and she says that she was because of the whole park incident, when they were holding hands and stuff, and then the minute that she saw some people, Blaze pulled away, and that really hurted her, and she was just like, it took me a long time to get to this place, and I'm not really interested in going backwards. Blaze is sitting there telling her, hey, listen, it's very hard for me to sit there and come out, being PDA and being in the spotlight and stuff. And she asked Christina for some patience. But, Christina's like, I don't know if I'm willing to do that. And she has a right to sit there and feel that way. Like she said, it took her a long time to feel comfortable enough to sit there and do that. And she's not really interested in going backwards. And although I don't, I'm not LGBT or anything like that, I could understand where she's coming from to some extent. And she's also talking about how she has a lot of stuff going on between the center and her just, maybe, after the procedure, her being pregnant. She's like, listen, I got a lot of stuff going on. I don't know if I have the patience to sit there and be kind of waiting until you decide you want to come out the closet. I think we should just sit there and end this now. And it made sense. I was like, okay, cool. And before she left, she was like, I should have sat there and held your hand and walks off. And that's where it should have ended. Right then and there. But of course, she knocks on the door and she gives this somewhat pseudo passionate speech. And Christina lets her back in. And I'm like, you do realize that you just dodged a headache, right? And now you're changing your mind and you're letting this headache come back in. And I don't mean like her being a headache. I mean with everything that she's going through, it just made sense. And let's just sit there and say, for the sake of argument, she was, ready to come out the closet and have everything, just be out in the open and stuff. She still has a lot going on. Between the bar, between the center, between the fact that she is being pregnant, she got a lot to go. She has a lot going on in general. So even under the best circumstances, I don't see a relationship really working out for her at this point in time. So that's why I'm just like, this was just a bad idea on all fronts. Now, I really did enjoy the scene between Esme and Cyrus. Esme's there trying to ask Cyrus for help. And, Cyrus there also trying to give her a lecture. One of the things that he said to her when, she explained the story was that it seemed more like it was about him being a possession, Ace being a possession and like protection, as opposed to Ace's own, safety and well being. And Esme was just like, I'm sorry, I'm actually taking a lecture from the next con. Like, are you are you kidding me? And that's where it's like that sort of snaz is like the old Esme is back. And I'm here for it. But he does sit there and say that he can help. He also says, oh yeah, listen, I'll make a phone call and, we can sit there and pray. So at that point, she just walked out. But towards the end, Cyrus says sit there and make a phone call. See what happens at that point. Now, the conversation between Jordan and TJ wasn't really super great. I mean, it was nice to sit there and see Jordan, But other than that, I could have really did without it. They just pretty much talked about catching up. Um, TJ being a parent and Jordan's that they're working on this investigation. Which, by the way, okay, so there's one part towards the end, and she's outside, and she gets approached by these two guys, and they're just pretty much like, all right, so you're gonna sit there and come with us now. TJ's talking about just be careful and stuff. She's top cop and everything. And here's my thing: for somebody who has been a cop for a long time, you would think that she would put up a better fight than just getting pulled away like some damsel in distress or whatever. It's just like, she's just like, oh, well, who are you? And then they just, they pull her by her arms. She just kind of just goes with it. I'm like, really? Really? Like, I was like, honestly, to tell you the truth, this is such a bad look for so many reasons. Like, come on, bro. You're better than this. Really? Now, Carly pretty much let Michael off the hook, and we all know that she was not going to sit there and rip into him too much. Michael talking about how it was important to sit there and protect the family from Nina, and yada yada yada. And Carly sitting there talking about how she gets to sit there and drop the charade, drop the charade and everything like that with Nina and trying to make peace and stuff. And she does tell Michael to sit there and try to work on this relationship. Now, at some point, Willow does get home and she asks, how's he doing and about the kids and stuff like that. Michael's talking about, oh, listen, we got to sit there and try to get back to the way we were. We got to sit there and try to fix things. I'm like, bro, first of all, she probably just finished doing like a 12-hour shift. You might want to let her just kind of chill and rest for a little bit. Like, I don't know how long they were apart, but I can't imagine it being that long, right? And that's what she said. She was like, yo, listen, I just came from work. I'm tired and stuff like that. And, he's all talking about, oh, well, how are we going to sit there and fix things if we're not together, if we're not in the same room? I'm like, bro, you need to sit there and relax. Like, I swear, it's like GH is just like they did the same thing with Sonny, you know? It's like not every man is that impulsive to where it's like, I mean, yes, we do have this trait of we want to sit there and try to fix things, right? But I like to sit there and think that we're a little bit more evolved and being like, all right, listen, just do you. When you're ready, you're ready. Sonny was very impulsive, trying to fix things with Carly, and Carly was like, I need time and some space. And Willow doing the same thing, right? So I'm like, bro, you need to sit there and really just kind of just breathe for a little bit. Now, of course, Wiley wakes up, and Wiley's not putting the pressure on them. Particularly Willow, as far as like, oh, let's go home. Let's I want to sit there and just be a family again. And Willow just kind of caught in like, deer headlights and stuff. And, she also talks about Michael and what he did and how wrong it was and everything like that. And I get that, right? But, again, and, in the live stream, people sent there reminding me, like, well, you're not exactly on this much of a high moral ground. Like, you're sitting there talking all this stuff about Nina, what Nina did, she's vindictive, da 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 da. But you do remember that you did sit there and cheat on Chase with Michael, right? So, bro, your hands aren't exactly clean. I just this level of judgment that she has is just irritating, to be honest. Now, Drew went to the bar to sit there and kind of drown his sorrows in alcohol and sees Anna and they get to talking and stuff. And Anna's not to talking about how she's still shooken up over the shooting of Charlotte. And listen, I know that this comment is going to come across as a dick, me being a dick, but, you know, was it bad what happened to Charlotte? Yes. But Charlotte also played a game of F around and find out. And she did find out. So, at some point, I'm just like, Anna, listen, I just, I can't take her sitting there whining about that same subject. We've been dealing with her complaining about that since last year. At some point, you're gonna have to sit there and start to kind of forgive yourself and move on and start reminding us of what you did, because yes, it does suck, but I'm like, you're not the only person at fault here. So now Carly does sit there and eventually show up, and Drew's like, yo, listen, I want payback. She put me in jail, and she made me lose time with my daughter and the experience that I had in Pentonville, and I'm just like, bro, you do realize that you did that to yourself. Yes, the SEC might not have caught wind on to what you did. Or, I don't know, maybe they could have, and that still would have wound up happening. But at the end of the day, bro, you did that to yourself. Okay? The SEC thing, that's on you and Carly. You should be more mad at Carly than you should be at Nina at this point. Because Carly is the one that did something that you told her not to do. Okay? So you could have stopped that. You chose not to. You went to jail for Carly. So you missed out on time with your daughter because you chose Carly over your own daughter. That ass whooping that you got, just want to sit there and remind you, bro, you're the one that started asking a bunch of questions. So, again, that's on you. But yet you want to sit there and be so butthurt and getting upset with Nina for something that you did. It, it's just laughable at this point. It really is. Carly Smith to talk about, yeah, I'm upset and I want payback. Yeah, okay, bro. But she's like, I'm willing to sit there and just let that just move forward and just kind of just get away from that experience. I'm like, I think that's probably the best thing for you, Carly. I mean, I don't think you should be that butthurt because you did do that yourself. But looking forward, that's a good start. That's a good start. Yeah, I actually feel like I kind of covered everything. I can't really think of anything else that I did. But it always feels like I missed like one or two things here or there. Like I said, the conversation with Jordan and TJ wasn't really that interesting. It was just nice seeing Jordan again. But if I missed anything, you know what to do. Come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll sit there and talk about all the shows. General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, Bold and Beautiful, Young and the Restless. And with that being said, I'm going to go. I will see you in the next video.